Welcome to the Journey Midweek Connection. So glad that you are tuning in again. Before we get started, I wanted to ask for prayer. Our Mexicali missions team leaves here tomorrow morning, and we would just love it if you would cover us in prayer as we go. We're going to be gone Thursday through Monday. So be praying for safe travels and for God to bless the work of our hands. Pray for personal transformation for us as we serve, and also just pray that the gospel would go out and things that were dark would be turned to light and the lost would be found. All those good things. So we're thankful for this opportunity, but we are humble enough to know we can't do this on our own. So thank you in advance for keeping us covered. I want to begin today in one of the most fascinating scriptures in the entire Bible. It's Genesis chapter 1. At the end of the creation poem of chapter 1, we read this. Then God said, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all of the creatures that move along the ground." And then it says again, so God created mankind in his image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. And so men and women, we reflect God's likeness and God's identity. So we're made in God's image. It's this beautiful idea. And the implications of that are endless. We could go in 100 different directions today, and it would be good. The thing I want you to understand is that we were made on purpose, for a purpose, and we are designed to be like him. One way that we are in the image of our Father, one way that we are like him is in our emotions. We have emotions. We're very well aware of that. Do you realize that God has all of the emotions that we do as well? I mean, all of them. You got the basic ones like happy and sad, but this jealousy thing, this terrible emotion that you and I usually don't like to feel at all, he has that as well, which is kind of incredible. And anger is an emotion that God has, although his anger is able to be holy, and we have to make sure that in our anger we don't sin. But we get angry. There's a way to be angry in a holy way, and God can go there. God is compassionate. He feels compassion and mercy, and that's something that we have as well. And it's also cool to know that God can feel joy. God can be joyful. Our emotions are the best parts of our lives. Those are the high points in our lives. We love feeling those good emotions. Our emotions are also present with us in other forms during the worst days of our lives, the low points of our lives. But either way, the highs and the lows are marked by intense emotion. It's interesting. Emotions are a gift. It comes with being made in his image, and emotions are to be celebrated, welcomed, enjoyed. They're a part of life. We can't hide from them even if we want to. Emotions aren't evil. A lot of times we have to be careful with our emotions because we need to bring wisdom in, because emotions love to run one way or the other. And so we have to govern them with wisdom and with the Holy Spirit. But they're a good thing. They're not evil. Sometimes we think, oh, emotions are bad. We shouldn't pay any attention to them. That's not true at all. And that's not the way we were made. In fact, emotions can actually be a very helpful tool. Sometimes you'll feel strong emotions and it coincides with something good. And so it helps really reestablish this idea in your head that this is a good thing. There's a reason why I feel so strongly about that. Also, emotions are a sign that I'm not doing okay. If I'm crying way too easily, or if I'm getting angry way too easily, that's a warning sign. Those emotions are there to say that you should probably stop and take a look at your life, evaluate what is going on right now. I was thinking about this too, how God's emotions, he can have them all and he can have them in a holy way. And sometimes for us, it just takes being tired or just being hungry. And the next thing you know, maybe our emotions aren't being expressed in a way that brings him honor. So God is able to have all these emotions in a healthy way, and we have to wrestle with our flesh as we deal with our emotions as well. As I said, it's important to keep an eye on our emotions because it tells us how we're doing. And I think it's really important to understand your baseline. What is your steady, level zero, just right down the middle emotional level? Do you know where you're at? Sometimes we can get elevated, and you know you're elevated because things that are small that normally wouldn't set you off are getting anger or getting jealousy, or we get a little snappy. I mean, I know there's times where my kids will just ask something simple of me, and I'll act like they just asked for the world. And that reaction is coming from the point that I'm empty. My emotional tank is low. I don't have a lot left to give. And when I hear myself responding with negative emotion over something small, again, that's a warning sign to me that I need to do some things to bring me back down to my baseline, to get my emotional and spiritual tank filled back up, and so I don't have to run so hot. So I guess the whole point of this today was to just revel in the fact that we're made in God's image. I marvel all the time about the highs and lows in life, and I think we should be thankful for our emotions. They're nothing to hide from. We shouldn't be ruled by them, but understand you have them because you're special. You're made to be like Him. So go be the best version of God to the world that you can be, and I hope you have a great week. Thanks so much for tuning in.